While our last theme ideas video was for easy themes in general, in this one we are looking at January specifically. As you can probably tell from the boxes that we have on screen, we're looking at 12 different theme ideas today, and I've endeavoured to have a mix between ones that are good for the northern and the southern hemisphere, along with just some other ones in general. It's all good and well for me to suggest just wintry specific themes, but if you're in the southern hemisphere like me, having a winter theme when it's like 30 degrees outside or something just doesn't really seem fitting. As per last time though, we are just starting with our colour swatches. Each of the colours for each of the theme ideas are just ideas, much like the themes themselves, but all of the specific colour combinations that I'm using are found linked in the description box, along with links to the materials in general and also other related things. Starting with our Northern Hemisphere related themes though, our first idea is that of winter nights. I find nightscapes to be absolutely gorgeous, especially when there's any kind of water involved and you have like the reflection of the moon, you've got stars in the sky. These ones can be really beautiful in terms of their colour palettes, whether they be more saturated or more muted. I've gone for what I would consider a more saturated colour palette in this one. Even though it's dark, the colours are still fairly vibrant. But you could of course choose more muted colours if that's more your thing. To add the highlights on each of the hills, I used a white jelly roll pen, and I also used it to add the stars in the sky just for a little bit of detail. As you can see, for each of the theme ideas, along with the colour palette, I'm just doing a couple of simple decorations to kind of show you what that theme might look like. Our next idea is that of a cozy homes theme. This one is great for the weather getting colder and just wanting to curl up at home with a warm blanket and a good book. For this one I picked a warm but muted colour palette to capture our cozy vibes. And for decorative elements you could do things like blankets, candles, fireplaces, that kind of stuff. Another cool idea for this theme would be having a home sweet home tracker where you could jot down things that you could do to make your home a more welcoming or inviting place to be. These could be small admin projects or stuff like decorating kind of things. Really anything that helps you capture that warm and cozy vibe. Might I also just add, it is really difficult to draw rocking chairs. I think I did a pretty good job on this one. Another theme that might be good for this time of year, again depending on where you live, is that of a hot chocolate theme. We're thinking rich brown colours, maybe a red thrown in there to kind of add some contrast. Also, I just kind of in my mind picture hot chocolate in red cups. In terms of decoration, we of course have the mugs and the hot chocolate itself, but you could also play around with marshmallow elements or cookies, other things that you might pair with your hot chocolate. Of course, other hot drink themes would be very appropriate for this time of year if you're from the Northern Hemisphere. So it could be a coffee theme, it could be a tea theme, or any other hot drink that you prefer. Coming into our Southern Hemisphere ideas, the first one is a camping theme. Camping to me feels like a very summer related thing, so if you're looking for a fun and outdoorsy theme, this one might be for you. For the colour palette on this one, I've gone with a more stylized version of the great outdoors, so a vibrant orange and teal combo, but you could make this a little bit more true to nature and go with some earthier tones instead. In terms of illustrations, we can have things like camping gear, tents, sleeping bags, campfires. I'm thinking marshmallows on a stick. I know we just did hot chocolate with the marshmallows, but maybe I'm on a marshmallow kick. If you were combining this one with a camping trip though, do be sure to include something like your camping checklist or packing list so that you have all the things you're going to need for a successful trip. Another fun summertime theme is that of a beaches theme. And for my decoration on this one, I've taken more of a bird's eye approach, but you could use illustrations of things like beach chairs, umbrellas, sandcastles. In particular, I have this vivid idea of a sandcastle with all of the like shells and different bits and pieces that you'd put on it, and using that as a tracker for like a mood tracker or a monthly challenge, whatever floats your boat. A beach theme in particular is one that I really want to do at some point, mainly because I liked drawing out this water illustration. It ends up looking quite visually effective, but isn't actually that hard, which is always what I enjoy in my bullet journal themes. Our third Southern Hemisphere friendly January bullet journal theme is that of iced drinks. Now the ice itself can be a little bit challenging to draw, so you might actually just want to leave it out. I've gone for more of a lemonade kind of vibe on this one, but I have also previously done a cocktails theme, which was really fun. You bring in a lot of bright colours, it feels very summery, you can play around with things like different garnishes or styles of glassware, but this is also another theme that is fairly straightforward to do. When I did my cocktails theme in particular, I also paired it with a tracker of different cocktails that I wanted to try, so that might be an additional page that you might want to add if you're doing a theme like this one. Moving into our January themes that aren't specific to a particular place, and our first idea is that of a hero's quest theme. This one plays along the idea that come the new year, a lot of us are trying to work on new goals. And I like the way that a hero's quest or adventure type theme can kind of tie in with the idea of new goal pursuit. Hopefully that makes sense. I know there is of course the brand The Hero's Journal, which is effectively a goal planner but done in the style of a hero's journey and facing challenges and obstacles but working towards a set goal. So I thought that made this theme perfect for the new year. In terms of the decoration that I've drawn out from this one, this is very much inspired by Art and Foxes, who I think used this style of decoration for an RPG theme, or something similar. Following on with the idea of New Year, New Me, you may also want to have a theme that's related to your resolutions or goals. The decoration that I'm drawing out on this one is related to a very common goal for the new year, which is health or fitness, but you might want to have a look at the goals that you're setting yourself for the year ahead and think about which of those could be translated into a bullet journal theme. If fitness was one of yours though, we have doodles of things like activewear, exercise equipment, bits and pieces related to healthy eating or drinking more water, anything along those lines. Another theme that is very January related is that of a fireworks theme. With New Year's Eve celebrations bringing us into the new year, and fireworks playing a big part in that, this kind of celebration-centered theme might be a nice one for January in your bullet journal. I will say this one would be much more easily done on blackout paper with paint pens or gel pens. I in particular wanted this red, orange and yellow combo though, and I decided to use my Tombos. Colouring in the black background does take a while though, so if you're gonna do this one, either opt for blackout paper or maybe just don't colour in the black background. Of course, you are your own person, you can make your own choices. This is just my personal recommendation. A theme that may not instantly scream January is our next one, and that is an Argyle pattern theme. National Argyle Day is celebrated on January 8th, and this makes for another simple but effective theme. The only thing you really need to watch out for this one is making sure that you line up the diamonds correctly. I sadly didn't, and I did have to go in with a white gel pen to fix mine up, but I would be super keen to do this as a theme in my journal one day. Effectively, we just have diamonds of different colours. I've decided to go with a kind of pattern to my colouring in, but you could just make these random, and then this is paired with dotted lines that cross through those diamonds. A very cute but simple style of decoration. Another theme that is related to a January holiday is that of our apple theme. This one is related to Apple Tree Day, which is on January 6th. Apples make for a great theme because you can very easily draw them in a stylized way, and pretty much everybody knows that it's an apple. You just need a roughly circular blob of colour in your main apple colour, possibly with a little indent at the top and bottom, a little line for the stem, and a little flick of green for the leaf. And there we have an apple. Nice and easy. For the decoration on this one, I've used a combination of red and green apples. And I think it would be really cute to have some kind of main tracker for the month, which brings in those apples by having different colours represent things like different moods or different completion of a particular focus habit. You could also do it so it's how much the apple has been eaten or something like that. So a full apple represents one thing, an apple with a bite out of it represents another, and then an apple core represents maybe a fully completed thing. However you want to set it up. I just think it would be cute. The theme idea we have in the bottom right corner here though is that of a puzzle theme, like jigsaw puzzles. This one's also related to a national holiday, which January 29th is National Puzzle Day. Technically speaking, it isn't just related to jigsaw puzzles. It could be things like crosswords or Sudoku, which also could make great themes in their own right, but I decided to focus on jigsaw puzzles for my one. Jigsaw pieces are actually fairly simple to draw once you know what you're doing. You effectively just start with a grid made up of slightly wavy lines, and then you just have to make the little indents on each of the edges, making sure to vary which way they're indenting. One thing I would suggest though, if you want your jigsaw puzzles to look like they're actually making some kind of a picture, draw the picture in first and then go over the top with your black pen. It just makes it a little bit easier. Hopefully these 12 different theme ideas were helpful, but if you are still on the lookout for more theme inspiration, I do have a playlist of other videos that you can check out. Or if you want to see what I've done for January in my bullet journal previously, the playlist at the bottom is where it's at. Click or tap on either of those and I'll see you over there.